Okay. This is something I kind of started doing last year, just posting a quick video, getting players and parents quick information. Kind of doing this so I don't have to drag you in for a meeting or anything like that. You guys are busy. I get that. And it's harder to have, almost impossible really to have a baseball meeting with the guys in school because a large percentage of our team doesn't actually attend school, at least at certain times, whether it's CCP, Buckeye Hills, or whatever. So kind of limits, the number of players, in the building. So if you have a meeting, you're only, catching some of them. So we'll do this. We do have to have one meeting a year with a parent-player meeting type thing. We'll do that after football season. Basically, in that meeting, we'll go over the Myrtle Beach trip, the dates and different things, fundraising opportunities. From there, we'll learn all that information. But if you have any questions about that too, feel free to contact me anytime. But also, kind of wanted to, just get some information out there. We'll put this on Remind, but there's a chance Remind goes away and we'll start a new process because we are having some issues with that. If you're getting this video and there's another parent that may not have seen it, anything like that, copy the link, send it to them, text it to them. I just like for everybody to have all the information so they feel in the loop. You don't want anybody confused or anything like that. But I kind of wanted to get some information to players, especially about our off-season workouts and the do's and don'ts and different things. But because I had a couple players kind of contact me or talk to me at school, almost apologetic that they weren't there because we started already. No, you're in a sport. Your job's to win. Don't feel like you need to call me or anything like that. You're more than welcome to, but you're not doing anything wrong or anything like that. Your job is to focus on what you're focused on and win. We'll be there when you're ready, when you're done. We'll get some work in, but just understand that win. Whether you're playing soccer, football, big tournament games coming up, win those. We'll be fine. We kind of got started a few weeks earlier than we have in the past. Actually, 4 or 5 weeks earlier, because kind of had a couple kids wanting to get some work in. They weren't playing a fall sport. And as a head coach, you don't really just open things up for 2 players. You got to invite everybody. You have to, that's how it should be. So that's kind of why we opened things up and started earlier than we have in the past. But again, when you're done or anything like that with your sport, hey, we'll be ready to go. You'll be fine. We'll get plenty of work in the off season and get you ready. Should be an exciting year. Unlike previous years, really, we're replacing a lot of spots. There is a large opportunity for young men to earn playing time, whether you're young, underclassmen, or an upperclassman who hadn't cracked the starting lineup, yet. This is a great opportunity. We're going to replace some talent, but we're going to replace talent with talent. But a lot of that is going to be earned in the off season. And what I mean by that is, you show up in March or April or whatever, February, when the mandatory practices start. The guy you're competing against is going to be 10,000 swings ahead of you. He's going to be 10,000 throws ahead of you. So don't put yourself in that situation. Get your work in. Don't think that it's a ton of time. It's not. And kind of my policy, especially young guys may not know it yet. I'd rather have you for a little than not at all. So when we have our open workouts, they'll be posted on Remind. I understand you have things going on. You may, have something after school and you can't be there on time. That's okay. It's okay to be late. You might have, doctor's appointment, driver's ed, or, this or that. And coach, I need to leave early. Totally fine. I'd rather have a player for 20 minutes than not at all. We'll focus on those 20 minutes, get our work in, get better. And that's kind of my philosophy. So I kind of wanted, players and parents to know that. Don't stress. There's not going to be repercussions or anything like that. I'd rather have somebody for a little bit than not at all because, we get a lot better in the off season. We put a ton of work in. It's a great opportunity for you guys to, get better, each day, each week, and get a chance to earn that playing time, that competition that'll come up the first, 2 weeks of practice. Making the team, things like that. We just have, it's a large competition this year, probably greater than ever. We got a lot of talent. A lot of young men going to be battling for certain spots and things like that. And that's kind of what we're focused on in the winter. Right now and all the way through until February when mandatory practices start is getting better, putting yourself in a good spot. So when the time comes to make the varsity team or earn a spot at either level, you're in a good spot. And you put in the work, you put in the effort, and you made yourself as good as you can be. So we don't have any regrets in that situation. So that's kind of just wanted to get that information out there. That's all I really have. Players, parents, players stop by the school or text me, whatever, anytime you want. Parents, feel free to do the same. Text, email, whatever. If you have any questions, reach out. My number is 740-418-1931. You can contact me if you have any questions. Don't ever feel confused. And again, if you know somebody that may not be on the remind or they have a child playing, shoot them, copy the link, shoot this, get that information out there so they know. I appreciate y'all. It's going to be a great year.